This is the outside of the Auto Trail Tracker FB. As we firstly move along, we will come to the access point underneath the bench seat inside. Here we can see the location of the leisure battery itself. We then have the mains hookup point just here. Just remember that when removing the hookup lead, to also push down on the blue lever just here. Grey water drain just here, so anything that goes down the plug holes goes into the holding tank and then is drained off at this point here. External locker just here. And then we have the external shower point. To use this, make sure that the fresh water tank is full and that the water pump is turned on. And then we just pop it in like so, and then just turn it, and then the shower will automatically go under pressure. And with this particular model, if you have your hot water turned on, it will come out warm, and you can mix it just by turning it. We then have the fresh water tank drain points just here. So you will see that one is set lower than the other one. So if you just want to drain off some water for travel, just turn this one here. And if you fully want to drain the fresh water tank down, turn this one just here. Cassette toilet just here. To remove the cassette, just lift up on the handle and then pull towards you. Before use, remove the cap and add your toilet chemical with a small amount of water. This is also where it empties from. Just remember that when you are pouring it away, to hold the button in just here to release the vacuum inside. It's also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine. And by turning this section just here, gains access inside the cassette for cleaning. If you do need to gain full access inside, this whole section here can be removed. You'll see at the moment that it's in the locked position just here. Just twist it round this way until the arrow is pointing to this point here, and then this whole section will come out. All of these cassettes are now on wheels with extendable handles. On these particular Auto Trail models, if I now just remove this part here, a filter can be added, so when you press the flush button, a fan will spin and then it will blow filtered air into the cassette. These do need to be replaced after a certain amount of time. They usually last approximately about 4 weeks. As we come round to the rear, we have the reverse camera just up here, and then the spare wheel just sits behind here. Access underneath the rear fixed bed. You can also see underneath here that there is a main socket and a 12-volt socket, and we also have the drain valve for the Truma boiler. So to drain the boiler down for winterization, make sure the water pump is turned off and then flap this lever up, and you will see that when I do, all the water drains out of the boiler underneath the van. To refill the boiler, fill up the fresh water tank, make sure that this lever is over as it is now, turn the water pump on, and then it will begin to re-pressurize the system. Fresh water tank fill is just here. As you can see, the cap can be locked. Just pop your hose pipe in to fill the tank up. And then beside this we have the external barbecue point. So the barbecue adapter looks like this. Attach the hose of the barbecue to this section just here and secure it with a Jubilee clip, and then just push it in and then twist it round to use the barbecue. Flue for the Truma boiler just here. We do not need to do anything with these particular flues, but just make sure that nothing is obstructing it. And the same for the vents for the fridge. Make sure they are not obstructed, and also try to avoid spraying too much water at them when washing the motorhome. Gas locker just here. There is room in this gas locker for 2 gas bottles. The regulator just sits here, and this particular regulator is fitted with a crash valve just here. These crash valves can be triggered if you go over a bump quite violently, so if you're not getting any gas into the van when you turn your gas bottle on, just hold this button in for about 3 or 4 seconds to reset it. What you can also use with this particular system is a drive safe hose. So it's very similar to the one that I've got connected at the moment to my demonstrator bottle. The only difference being is that there's a valve just here, and then there's a button that sits on top of it. Once connected up to the propane bottle like this is at the moment, so screw it in, tighten it with a gas spanner, bottle on and off just here. Turn the bottle on, hold the button down for about 3 or 4 seconds. That will then purge the gas into the van. And with these particular gas hoses, you do not need to turn your gas bottle off for travel. If you are using a hose similar to what I'm using at the moment, please make sure that the bottle is isolated. We then have the roll-out canopy just here. To roll the canopy out, take the canopy winding handle and then just pop it in to this section just here, and then begin to wind the awning out. As you can now see, I've wound the awning out a short distance, and I will now drop the legs to support the awning. It's always best to do this before winding it completely out, so you're not putting too much stress on this side of the motorhome itself or the awning. So with these legs, just pull and drop down like so, undo just here, and then you can then drop the leg to the ground, then get it at the height that you require and lock it into place. And then if we do the same again with the other leg, again just drop, undo, slide down, and again get the height that you require and lock into place. And then once the awning is supported, just continue to wind out. And as you can now see, I've wound the canopy out as far as it will go. It will go out as far as these arms nearly go straight. Try to avoid leaving the canopy out in high winds, because you do run the risk of it being swept over the top of the motorhome and completely destroying it. To put the awning away, begin to wind it back in, walking the legs in as you go, and then once you've done this and it's at a safe point to put the legs away, undo and then slide back up, fold back in, and then continue to wind it away. Diesel fill just here, and the filler cap just unlocks on the ignition key. Tyre pressures on the door pillar just here, and then underneath the passenger seat you will find the jack and wheel brace kit. Vehicle battery just here underneath the floor of the cab, and bonnet release is just here.